kubeconfig, right? Search in Google something like this. What is the command I should use to download the kubeconfig? That is my intention. That is the reason altogether, why I install gcloud. I wanted to configure gcloud because I wanted to get the download the kubeconfig file of the cluster that I just created in the Google Cloud, that GitOps cluster, whatever cluster that we just created, GitOps cluster. For this cluster, I want to download the kubeconfig. So I search in Google, I go to the Google Cloud documentation page, and I will get the command. Gcloud init command we already executed, so don't worry about it. Kubernetes configurations, we already created the cluster from the browser, so don't worry about that also. Cluster we already created, and authentication with kubectl, that's what I want to do. And for that, the command is this. This is the command to generate the credentials, the kubeconfig, gcloud container clusters, get credentials, and over here I have to specify the name of the cluster. So name of the cluster is GitOps cluster. So this is going to be the command which I will run on my laptop. So this is the command I have to run on my laptop. Then gcloud will connect to my Google Cloud account, generate, locate this cluster in my Google Cloud account, then generate all the necessary credentials, and that would get downloaded, stored in my laptop. So let me execute this command in my laptop. So just run the command in my laptop, and that's it. It says kubeconfig entry generated for the GitOps cluster, and that file in my laptop is this .kube folder config file. Whatever your home folder is in your laptop, right, inside your laptop home folder, .kube config, this is the file which got updated with the new cluster credentials. And actually, if I show me my file, it is complicated because same file contain too many clusters, AWS cluster, K3D cluster, many clusters, so it's a bit complicated. And a entry got generated for your Google Cloud clusters. Just search for GitOps. Some entry might have come here for GitOps cluster. Take a look. So this is the one, a new entry has generated for the GitOps cluster, and along with some certificates, some credentials. And this is the URL that kubectl will use to talk to the Kubernetes API server. All right, fine. So I can use this command also, kubectl config get context. I will be able to see the new cluster that I have created. And yes, star button indicate that currently I am connected to that cluster. So everything good, I am all set. And yes, if you don't have kubectl installed in your laptop, you should install kubectl also. Kubectl, just download and install, or you can use apt-get. Kubectl installation is pretty straightforward. So now I am going to run my first kubectl command, kubectl get ports. How many pods are currently running inside the Google Cloud cluster that I just created? Nothing. Get nodes. How many worker nodes are there in the cluster? 2 worker nodes are there in the cluster, right? At the time of creating the cluster, I just mentioned I want 2 worker nodes. You can see them. So just, now you successfully created your lab environment in the Google Cloud, and then connected to the lab environment to that cluster using kubectl from your laptop. So that's what this